Let's go over how you can convince friends and family to start prepping. The first way to do it is to send them news articles. So if there's an article that comes out and says that hackers have infiltrated our power grid and could turn it off at any time, send it to them. If there's a news article that comes out about how a country is telling its citizens to prepare for war. By the way, there were a bunch of warnings to get ready for war. It was the chief of NATO, Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, the UK, and many other places. If there's news about energy shortages or food shortages, send it to them. If the country's emergency management department is telling people to make an emergency kit, that's important too. Any news that can reinforce the fact that it's important to start prepping. Even news videos that are telling people similar stuff, those work as well. By the way, you don't even have to send them the full article. You could just screenshot the title or the headline and that'll work too. This will at least get them to start thinking about how preparing is important. The thing you need to avoid though is sending them multiple articles a day. Don't overdo it. Maybe send them 1 or 2 articles a week when you're chatting about other stuff. If they're a family member or someone close, watch a survival or prepping related show with them. I think The Walking Dead is a great gateway into prepping. Because it's sort of a fantasy, people won't take it too seriously, they'll just enjoy the show. Watch the movie called The Day After Tomorrow. Watch the movie Mad Max, or watch a show like Man vs. Wild. Leave the World Behind is a really good movie. It properly displays the type of threats that we could currently face. If you're watching shows and movies like that with them, ask them what they would do in that situation. It gets them thinking. I think watching these shows and movies with them and talking with them, it'll get them interested. Next is taking them camping. Lots of people have never been camping, and most people like the idea. They were probably already thinking about it, but never had the chance or had no one to take them. If you take them with you and make them help you put up a tent or start a fire, they might find that they really enjoy it. Another way is to give them an emergency kit or go bag. Yes, it costs money, but you can give them a budget one. I have a bunch on the Beacons page on my profile. If you can't find it, just send me a DM. Some people, when they start looking at all the stuff inside, like survival food, knives, flashlights, fire starters, they find it really fascinating. That could get them interested into prepping and survival, and at the same time, you're helping them get prepared. Next is by simply talking to them about what's going on in the world. Talk about the situation the economy is in right now and how much debt there is. Tell them about how we're closer to a nuclear conflict than we've been since the 80s. The worldwide medication shortages. Talk about how crime is going up everywhere because people are desperate. There's so many issues going on right now that you could potentially talk about. But again, don't annoy them with it. Talk about it once in a while when you're talking about other topics. The next way is to make prepping personal. If they live in a place with extreme winters, remind them how power outages happen every year and how having basic supplies could save them. If they have kids, talk about what would happen if grocery stores ran out of baby formula or medicine. If they commute long distances, ask them what they would do if their car broke down or if there was a fuel shortage. Frame prepping as insurance. Tell them that prepping is like insurance. You don't expect your house to burn down and you don't expect your car to crash, but if it happens, you're covered. The same way, you don't expect a disaster to happen or society to collapse, but if it happens, you'll be prepared. Tell them they should think of it the same way they do an emergency fund. You have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, why not have 3 to 6 months of emergency supplies? Get them to stock up on a few things. Tell them next time they go shopping, grab a couple cans of food and a case of water bottles. Worst case scenario, you have some extra food and water. You could bring up small scale disasters that already happened. Ask them about a possible blackout or a snowstorm that could have happened this year or last year, and ask them what they would have done if it went on for a few more days. If they recently had a situation like that, it feels more personal to them and it feels less distant. That might be a way to get them to start preparing. These are the things that I think will work. Hopefully it'll help you out. If you have any tips on getting people to start prepping, let me know down below what worked for you.